Hey guys, you want to play some games? Hello everyone, and welcome to the Pixel Pub Podcast, the social distancing edition.
Yes.
Because
we are more than 6 feet apart right now.
yes, we are several counties apart.
Well, I guess me and Andy are kind of
No,
close.
we're really close. Like, I can touch her. Look at this. Look at this right here.
Me and Andy haven't gotten great at our social distancing.
No. So, I guess...
Drink until you forget podcast.
The drink until you forget about the state of the world as it is right now. I don't need to tell anybody out there what the hell's going on because y'all fucking know. Unless y'all are on some Polynesian island somewhere.
Stay inside your goddamn house.
Yeah, stay inside your house.
Stay in your house.
Wash your hands.
Stop coughing on produce like I heard some Virginia kids did today. Like some bitches. Yes. So COVID-19.
Yep.
The coronavirus, as they like to call it.
Elon Musk likes to call it C-19 because he's hip.
Yeah, well, I'm hip like Elon Musk. I'll call it C-19 too.
Yeah, we're...
So it's everywhere. It's very contagious. It's very, it's subtle to a lot of people, I guess.
And I think this is
anybody under 70?
This is a point where I should tell you that I've had a dry cough for like 3 days.
Why did you say that online? Why do you keep telling people that?
It's true.
She keeps telling people, I think I have it. I'm like, stop saying that.
I don't really think I have it, but I don't know.
So
I might be coughing. Don't judge me.
So, beyond all that, let's get that out of the way. The fucking virus is here. This is why we're doing it online. That's why it might sound kind of weird. It might be different from what you're used to, but...
I think it sounds amazing.
Yes, but let's get this out of the way. I'm Andy Hardison. Who have I got with me?
Kathy.
Who have I got on the line here?
Do you want to go first?
What? I'm Josh.
And I'm Shelby.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear. So, I made a Google Doc for this podcast before, like, all the shit went down, basically, before everything shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how useful it is anymore. I'm not even signed into my damn Gmail account anymore.
I have it pulled up.
So, basically, we were going to talk about some games that we have been playing. Here we go.
Well, do we want to do life update first?
Yeah, we can do life updates.
Life updates.
What do we want to start with? I wrote down a lot of stuff. I don't know how much I want to read off of it, but I'll start with this. Kathy Brown.
Yeah.
What's your problem with pillows?
I'm obsessed with those mochi pillows. I've got.
How many
in the background?
There's two.
Yes. There's.
Well, you could probably only.
There are
see
two.
Well, you see two.
There are two in this room.
Yeah, there's two in this room. There's
one of them we got this week. How many we got this week? Like 2 or 3?
No, we've only got one this week.
That's how many we got this month?
I don't know, 2. But I have the banana. I've got the red mushroom. I've got the green mushroom. I've got the blue shell.
Hold on, stop. We should explain what the mochi pillows are.
They're like, I guess Mochi is the brand name.
But they're big pillow
really,
representations of
they're like
Mario stuff.
Yeah, I think Mario Kart specifically.
Well,
but they're about like 12 inches tall or so. They're the softest pillows ever. The softest pillows. They're so squishy. They're fluffy. I mean, I was instantly attracted to them. I remember the first moment I saw and touched one, it was at the...
Is that Target?
No, it was actually at the Think Geek store in Raleigh.
That was a long
and
time
I was
ago.
actually, I was amazed at how soft they were, but I was actually a little disappointed because it was the red shell, and I wanted to be able to stick things inside, and I just couldn't understand why they didn't make it that way.
Who would have that expectation to stick things in this pillow?
I just
Like it's a fucking
wanted
kangaroo sack.
to be able to put something in there, and I was just really disappointed in the design that they didn't create it that way to begin with. But then I was like, whatever, this thing's like $30. I'm not spending that much money. Actually, I want to say it was actually $40, but whatever. It was
They're
more than I
expensive.
wanted to pay. And then I saw him, I kept seeing him around, and I just had to touch him every single time. And then I got my first one, and then I got my second one. Well, I got my first one because I was like, man, I'm instantly attracted to these. Every time I walk in the store, I think about it when I leave. And so that's when you know it's not an impulse buy and that you need to take it home with you.
So, long story short, we basically have all of them.
We don't. We're missing
We
the...
basically have all of them.
We have the
We
blue
have the blue
shell.
shell. That's the first one she bought.
We're missing Bullet Bill. We're missing the red hat, Mario's red hat.
So I'm gonna be real with y'all out
Luigi's
there.
green
We didn't
hat.
have a house for like 2.5 months. Kathy bought the fucking blue shell while we were living with my mom. And my mom would look at it in bed and be like, what the fuck is that thing? It's literally like a spiked blue shell just sitting on the bed.
But it's the softest spiky blue shell in the world.
I know. You think spikes, it's not that soft.
Just in case you got to go after someone who is in first place.
Yeah,
You know.
it's like, fuck
Throw it
you.
up. You should bring those next time we have a Mario Kart tournament and throw it at whoever's in first place. Like, if you use the blue shell, you have to throw the blue pillow at the person.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, we got a banana peel too. And
Yes, the banana
red shell.
peels in the living room, the red shells in the sunroom.
the Yoshi's egg is in the bedroom.
Yes, the Yoshi's egg. That's one I sleep with every night. It's the best. But my sister and my brother are also addicted to these too. We've started a family trend, and we all need them.
Yes.
It must
They
be a
need
brown thing.
them.
There's just something about the way they feel that attracts
Soft
to my
things.
family. Yes. So.
That's the mochi pillows. What have y'all got for us?
Dude, it seems like Cooper really likes them too.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
It does. And Lucy.
Let's see. I
Lucy
put in
loves
the
them too.
Google Doc that we have a fan of mine, or I guess he's a fan of ours in particular, that has been going through and listening to each episode and giving us feedback in the Discord. His name is Bertie. He's from Germany. He's been following me since I started Twitch Things. He's a subscriber, and he really likes our podcast.
Yes.
Except
Cool.
except for the wrestling part, which
Yes.
Yeah.
this is why we're announcing that the last 30 minutes of this is going to be wrestling.
It's all wrestling.
Yeah, the last 30 minutes of this is going to be wrestling. We'll try to save all the wrestling for the end, for those of you who are not that into wrestling.
Man, what the fuck ever? Did y'all see AEW this week? God damn.
The
It was
end, Andrew.
perfect.
The
Why the
end.
No, we gotta save it. We gotta save it. Sorry, I
Yeah.
can't do it right now. I can't do
We
this.
gotta
We gotta
at least
follow
get
our
through the
own
video games
rules.
first.
Yeah, we gotta get through the video games. And I guess life update is like things at my work have been really weird because of this whole COVID-19 stuff.
Yeah,
And
I get the
it's-
email updates from the vet every so
the
often.
vet, yeah.
Mhm.
It's just we're just doing things differently, and I really don't know how to cope. Not cope with it, but it's just weird not being as hustly and bustly as we are. Basically, we're not letting anybody except employees in the building.
Yes, that's what I
So-
read.
Like, I don't know. It's nice because I'm not worried of people in the lobby waiting a long time because I really don't recognize their wait time when they're outside.
Yeah.
Sit out in your car,
And
you
I-
fucks.
Yeah, well, and I feel
Just
like we've
kidding.
been more efficient this way. I feel like we're turning around quicker.
I like the hashtag that y'all have, the dog valet or whatever.
Vet
valet.
Pet valet.
It's kind of
It's nice.
Oh, that is fun.
What about you, Josh?
What have you been doing, Hobo
I've been
Man?
living at home since Monday.
Wow.
Teleworking.
Some full
Trying to keep-
lockdown.
Yeah, trying to keep ECU running from the background, and
Yeah.
it's interesting. We've actually everybody on my team we actually talk more through
More
this
online.
time.
Yeah.
Than we are
I would
because
agree
it's
with
like
that too. For
because it's a
me.
whole lot easier to just be like, I'm just gonna ignore this message than walk away from someone at work. But the other day, my supervisor suggested that when we do teleconferencing that we keep our cameras on, and I'm like, do you really want that right now? Because I'm coming to work with, in underwear.
You want to see my ugly face? You want to see my nipple? It's right here.
That's funny.
Yeah. Like what you're gonna get is an unwashed human just doing his life, trying to survive. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah,
Yes,
it's interesting. I
this
guess
seems
whatever helps.
This seems to be the state of things for a while until
Yeah.
we can, what do they call it, flatten the curve.
Yeah,
curve.
we went to Best Buy today. You should talk about that, babe.
Well, we should at least preface it first by the fact that like we're not just going out and like buying just for the sake of it. Our router has been fucking up since like December. And the Wi-Fi randomly cuts out and it will just restart whenever it wanted to. And finally today we were like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go get a new one because I'm teleworking at home and I can't afford for it to go out. So we went and bought a brand new router.
Every 30 minutes or so it would cut out and it was super annoying.
God, it was so annoying. And
Sounds
it wasn't
bad.
like it wasn't like, oh, the internet's out. It would be like it would slow down and be weird and then all of a sudden it just wouldn't work anymore and then you're just like,
Yeah, that
and
sounds
then you have to
terrible.
go in there and look at the router and then you have to reset it. And so we went out there and we got to Best Buy and we were like, all right, we're going in and out because we don't want to be those people that are just hanging around and getting people sick or whatever. Because at the end of the day, like you don't know if you have coronavirus. So you could be just like
That's right.
asymptomatically like spreading it around and shit.
Yep.
So
Right.
the last thing we want to do is provide that out in the public in case we have it. So we went in there, we were like, we're going in and out. And they literally had a blockade at the door where they were like, do you know what you want? Where are you going to get it? And we're like, we're getting routers. Let's do it.
And they
And the
pointed
lady-
to this girl.
And she was like, I don't know what the fuck a router is.
I looked straight at her. I'm like, we're knowledgeable. We know what we want.
Yeah, I can walk over there and get it right now. So we went and grabbed it. I think we were in and out of there in like 5 minutes, but
Wow.
Well, that's good.
Interesting.
They were taking precautions like that.
Yeah.
I like to hear that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
they were doing that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just a weird time because at first, like, I don't want to get fucking political, but it just feels like you're on your own. Like everybody's on their own right now. You're just trying to survive, and it's not nearly as bad as like it could be. Like we're not out here Mad Maxing or anything like that, and like rolling around fucking stealing people's toilet paper stash or whatever. But it feels like we don't have that figurehead in front of us that like we can trust. It's like it's just a weird situation. It's one of the strangest. So like
Yes.
you're having to look to yourself or look to your partner or like look to people, and I think that might be one of the big reasons why at work, everybody's kind of talking to each other more because it's just like we've never encountered this. I know when we went through like 9/11, it sort of has that feel where like you're not sure what's going on and how it's ending and what the heck. Like the first 14 days of like past 9/11, it was such a weird scenario because you look online and like we haven't gotten to that point yet, but I remember MTV just having like one person on it, like Carson Daly. He just kept giving updates and like the world felt like it stood still for so long, and now we're at that point again where like the world feels like it's standing still.
Yeah.
Like it's standing still, and you have like situations where people are like, it's gonna last until March or into March, early April, and then you have people that are like, you're gonna have to deal with this until
Yeah.
for the next 18 months, and you're just like,
Well, I'm here-
holy fuck.
I'm here in August.
Oh.
August is the time.
It's been all over the board. There's all different kinds of things.
But whatever. We're not here to bring people down to talk about the shit that's probably bringing
We're
them
talking about video games.
probably
Talk
bringing them
about games that we've
anxiety.
been playing.
Yes, we're here to talk about video games and wrestling and whatever the fuck we
Wrestling.
want to. So, who wants to start here?
Well, it goes in the docket. Andy, Kathy, Shelby, Joshua.
That's
I
fine.
don't think I do this
But-
document.
I think there's an elephant in the room besides COVID-19, and that is
Animal Crossing?
what the fuck came out yesterday. Yes, that's Animal Crossing. I
Yep.
think Shelby's going to pull up her Switch right now. Kathy has hers as well.
I've been playing it. I think Andy's the only one not playing it
No.
at this point.
I don't have my own Switch. I would like to try it, but the whole idea of me play on the same island as Kathy, like,
Yeah, I don't like it.
she doesn't like it. I don't know what that means, so I didn't want to mess things up.
Wait, if you play on the same Switch, you share the same island?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad you have your own Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she gets so mad. She gets mad when I go
I
to dig
get
a hole.
fucking.
I dug a hole out of a joke, and I was in the
Tilted.
middle of covering up, and she looked over at me on the couch, and she was like, "What the fuck you doing?"
That's
Really
I was
relax.
following him around because he kept digging up holes, and I was about to beat his ass.
Yeah.
hilarious.
I don't know. It's stupid fun. Like I don't understand why I'm liking this game because at the end of the day, it's like busy work.
Yes.
It
Like
is.
I'm doing work and then I'm doing more busy work at the end of the day. But for some reason, I want to come back and go like, ooh, I gotta pick some fucking peaches, or we call them Jessica Nigris.
They're my Nigris. Okay.
We're calling them Nigris at this point because they look like a butt. And then I
They do look like
have
Like, the
oranges.
nicest butt.
I accidentally said I had apples, but I have oranges.
What do you have,
And
Henry?
I have apples.
I
Yeah.
need apples.
We got 2 apples.
Apples is the only fruit I need, and then I'll have all the fruits.
I need pears. So if anybody's out there wants to give me some pears, what's up?
I think about why do I like this game all the time, and I think it's so peaceful and zen. Like if you just take a minute and listen to the music and think about what you're doing, it's just really peaceful.
Shelby gets so
cute.
tilted. She
No,
gets so
everything
tilted
just
when she
needs
sees
to be
people.
in its right place, and I have my paths already figured out, and I'm placing buildings where I want to place my buildings.
I walk 3 feet and I dig a hole and I plant something. I'm like, all right, well that's good.
Yeah, I heard you could dig
what
in this
happened.
game, like Minecraft style. Like,
Can
dig,
you really?
dig deep?
I haven't done that yet, but
Well,
That's
I
what
think
Andy
that's
heard.
unlockable because I think you can make your own ponds on the island, and I think you can, kind of like make the rivers go where you want them to go if you don't like the way they are. But I think that comes later as the town progresses.
Build your
Because
own
I
fallout
definitely
shelter?
saw that. No, I definitely saw that in like the 30-minute video that they put out that I watched like twice. Been waiting for this game.
So, what are your overall thoughts? Like, let's hear it from the Animal Crossing super fans. Like, what's
Yeah,
the,
I'm not a super fan. This is my first one ever, so I'll let those two go.
Like,
And then
yeah,
I'll say from like a casual's point of view.
well,
what
let's
I
start.
like
Let's
about
start with Shelby. Like, how you feeling so far?
I've probably played about 10 hours,
she's much farther than I am.
and I love it. It reminds me of everything that I loved about New Leaf, but it's unique in a different way. I don't know. I like the activities more. I like the world building more, and I'm interested to see how it progresses. I really like the mileage system that they have too, where I can get points for doing like just random tasks.
I like that too.
Yeah, like I can just like go around and chop down trees, and then next thing I know, I chop down 100 trees and I get 500 mile points or whatever. Or keep fishing and I catch 100 fish and I get another 300 mileage points. I don't know. You get rewarded for doing whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kathy Brown?
I mean, my comments are pretty similar to Shelby's. The mileage system is probably the newest concept. A lot of, the rest of it seems familiar. Whereas the last game you were moving to some new town. This one you're on this like deserted island with a couple of other folks.
And you were the mayor of the town, or like they mistook you for the mayor.
Yeah, and
you
this
still have
one
the-
they call you the resident representative.
Did it still have like the city ordinance of the last game where you could like say everyone has to be awake from this time to this time because that's when you're
No, I assume that comes later.
because that'd be weird if they didn't have that because
Yeah.
everyone can't play Animal Crossing the same way that the developers decided that they would. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I
When's
think
the martial law part? I can't wait for that.
no. I just want to know where Isabel is.
Oh no, where's she at?
I just need her in my game again.
You gotta rescue her. from a hole that you dig.
I mean, I would.
Yeah.
Here's a shovel that digs really deep.
Is it really deep?
Gets
Really
way
deep.
up in there.
It's the Isabel shovel.
I'm really excited
Shut.
about it though. It seems really fun.
Yeah, we're 1 day in. 1 day in for a game that y'all will play at least 100 hours or more.
Out of all the games I've ever played, Animal Crossing New Leaf is the game I've put the most hours in.
I think
No,
it's probably
it's The Sims.
probably okay. That makes it
It's
probably
The
the
Sims.
4th longest game that I've put hours into. Because look, I know which one is my longest played game. You fucks.
What are you, almost
'cause
500 hours at this point?
Yeah, I have 480 hours in Sims 4.
Just Sims 4 alone.
Just the Sims 4 alone. That's not counting all the hours I spent in middle school playing The Sims 2 and all the hours in high school I played Sims 3.
Does that line up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I remember because I had to convince my mom to buy me a new laptop so I could play The Sims 3 because the graphics card in my old laptop that played The Sims 2 was not good enough.
And you convinced her? Good job.
Yeah, I told her I needed it for school.
Of course.
Why do you need a graphics card? Oh, I'm doing video editing.
Sims.
I mean, I was. My senior year, I was doing a lot of video editing because I was in that video class where I did like the morning announcements, and we did it like...
My senior
with
year,
a
I was
green
learning how to
screen.
do HTML. That's how
Wow.
old I am. So, what should we pick next here as far as games go? Josh, you have Animal Crossing here on your list. You have any thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Casual gamer.
It's fuck you, Tom Hood. No, okay. So it's kind of funny because like I'm coming from the perspective of never playing one before. I just kind of mess around with Shelby when she's playing and joke on her. But it is kind of funny that like you get put on this island and they give you all this shit and then they're like, "Oh yeah, and you got to pay $96,000."
Yeah.
And they put you in debt like right off the way and you're just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like I'm jumping in from real life debt into video game debt. So then you get done with that and then they're like, okay, we're going to give you a house. And you're like, oh, nice. Here comes the house. And they're like, okay, now you got to pay this back, motherfucker. So you're just constantly moving from debt to debt, I guess. I don't know. I enjoy it. It's fun. I like the whole aspect of like, yeah, I like being able to start with like oranges and then like we decided that we're going to trade and then I go to this like island and I fucking get coconuts and I come plant shit on my island, and I guess it's gonna take I don't know how long to get my own trees.
2 days for trees to grow.
Yeah, so I don't mind playing it like maybe a couple hours a day, I guess, and then moving on with my life because it seems like each day you do certain things, and then you're like, well, I could grind for money, or I could just wait till the next day, and the museum's gonna be open, and I guess I'm going to have a shop tomorrow and a few other things. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's I don't know if I'll still be playing it in the next podcast because I always kind of get bored of those games after a while.
But
But-
the seasons change with real life in real time.
Yeah. And I was the first time I really started playing it was like last night when it was already dark. So I'm running around just catching moss.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is weird.
That's
When I
why
get bit by a spider and I pass out.
That's
Oh,
why I
dang.
don't think this is the game for me because when I have time to play games, it's like I'm gonna binge play a game. I'm gonna play it for 5 or 6 hours straight, and with this
I mean, I did.
game being on a timer, I don't know. Like I've heard, like you could run out of things to do in a day in this game, and then it's like you literally have to wait to the next day to do anything.
Yeah, it's everything's behind a time wall. I guess it would be different if they were charging me a monthly fee, then I'd be kind of mad about that because you're like, hey, you're making me have to continue. Like you're running behind the carrot.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's bad. That sounds great. Like that. Like there's always something to do every single day. But I'm not playing games every single day. I'm picking a day. I'm setting aside time, and then I'm gonna play what I can play. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
I get
I feel like if I would have go back in time and told myself that I was gonna buy Animal Crossing over the new Doom game, I probably would have. I don't
Slapped
know.
yourself.
I've been like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But
Yeah, I didn't.
I bought that over Doom, even though I really enjoyed Doom, whatever 2016, I
16,
think they're calling it.
Doom
Yeah,
2016. It was great.
that shit was a lot of fun, but I don't know if it's $60 fun.
Yeah, it will.
I played it when it was like 15.
Yeah, it will go into deep discount soon. And from my own perspective, I didn't want to play a game where hell is on earth right now. Like, I'm gonna.
That's why I had to stop playing Division 2. I was like, this is getting a little too
Let me
real.
get some escapism up in here. Let me play some fun,
Mm-hmm.
colorful shit.
Did
Speaking
y'all
of
get
fun,
the digital version or the hard copy version?
I got the digital version because I did not want to leave the house.
I got the digital one too because I didn't want to be that guy to go. Like, it was okay for us to go to Best Buy for a router because, like, if I don't have that, then my job, I lose income. But trying to
Right.
justify to go pick up Animal Crossing, it was a little difficult when we're all
Yeah.
trying to pitch in. So I didn't mind getting a digital, even though I like to have hard copies of my
Physical
game.
copies of everything.
Yeah.
told you, Kenneth Brown.
I know. Well, I didn't actually go out to the store and get it, so somebody
Whatever.
picked
You
it up for
got.
me.
She got the physical version.
I did.
Where'd you get it, or how did you get it? Did you order it?
No, Paula picked it up, and I saw her last night, so she went and got it, and so she grabbed me one, and I just Venmo'd her the money.
Nice.
So
And that's not too bad too. Like, if she was out and about getting her own things,
Yeah.
like, to survive. But for me to just run to Best Buy just to get the game and, potentially.
I know I went back and
I don't know.
forth about digital or hard copy, but it's hard because we're game collectors, and when you get the digital version, it basically has no value to you later.
Yeah, and you're basically renting it. As much as they want to tell you that,
Yeah.
You're renting it.
Yeah.
you're renting it for a long period of time, and hopefully in 10 years from now, they'll still allow you to continue to play it.
Yeah. There's some.
Because every time you play digital, they're like checking to make sure that you're allowed to have this copy, and
Yeah, there's-
sooner or later they're not going to do that no more.
There's something in that EULA that you're not reading that says we reserve all rights to take this away from you anytime we want to when you
Yeah.
buy that digital stuff. Speaking of digital stuff, I'm going to bring this up for me and Josh. The Final Fantasy VII Remake demo came out
Oh yeah.
a few weeks ago. I have some thoughts. Josh, I'm curious about your thoughts first off.
As someone who watched the original game be played, I never played it personally. My friend Brian, back in the day, we would go over to his house and watch him play, and it was fun. So as a person who was a spectator, and we didn't get to watch the whole entire game because, of course, he wants to continue to play, after we get home. So I think it's going to be fun to be able to experience the story, even though I know what happens. But I felt like, I don't know, I'm not entirely sold on the way that the game plays yet, because it feels like, and it might take a while to get used to, like, controlled chaos. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I liked the demo and I enjoyed my time, but I don't know if I felt like I knew what I was doing. And I was kind of Mr. Magooing my way through it. So I'm interested to see on your perspective of how you felt about it.
I felt pretty sold on the combat. The one thing I didn't like about the combat is you can so you're basically you can attack whenever, but you're building up these your active time battle bar to do these special attacks like cast magic or cast a special ability or use an item. And the thing that I didn't like about it the most was whenever you use that special ability, you can get canceled out of it by an attack from another enemy. So when you're fighting the big scorpion boss at the end, the demo, if you're up close to it and it raises up his hands to lower it down and hit you, and you can't see it because you're right up next to it, and you try to do something to heal or the lightning attack that would hurt it, it would knock you out of that thing that you wanted to do, and you were just lost. You just lost that attack. So I would like to see something that would let me know that was happening. That, hey, you're in trouble here. don't do this or get out the way or whatever, because that's the one thing I didn't like about the combat the most. I pretty much, I think I got everything in my head that I was like, okay, I understand what's going on here. But that was the one thing I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
The other thing I didn't like about it, let me get this straight. I like a lot about it. I'm very skeptical about the Final Fantasy VII remake demo because, or the remake period, because I played Final Fantasy VII like fucking 5 times, start to finish, on the PlayStation. I love that game. It was the first RPG I ever played and beat. It was like a seminal moment for me in video games. Like I was like, this is incredible. It's my first PlayStation game, period. And I'm so skeptical about this because of the change of the battle system, the fact that it's 3 parts long, at least. Just everything about it. I'm like, I'll see it. Like I believe it when I see it if it's good.
My biggest issue right now is the fact that it doesn't seem like they're advertising that it's in parts.
Yeah,
a lot of people are gonna be fucking pissed when they get home and they play this game and they've gotten 30 hours in and they finished with the city and then they're like, oh yeah, well, hope
see us next year or 2.
See you in December. You fucks. Thank you for the $60.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Yeah.
I don't like any of that, but playing the demo, I really like what I played, besides what I just talked about with the battle system. There's one other thing that I disliked that I didn't think I would dislike. It really just hit me over the head. I was like, why is this bothering me? It was the music. And I'm one of those fucking people who have listened to the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack a billion times because I loved it. And the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack on the PlayStation was, it wasn't Red Book audio. It wasn't actual recordings. It was done off the PlayStation sound chip. So it has a very distinct sound to it. And it's not all orchestrated. It's not all, violins and trumpets and horns and all this other stuff and choirs and stuff. It's all done by a sound chip trying to replicate some of that stuff. But it's also trying to replicate other things like, electric guitar, just all this other stuff. So when I'm going through the demo and I'm hearing the music and it's all orchestrated in this demo, it's all orchestrated. And all this all this weird music that wasn't supposed to be orchestrated in the original game, it was supposed to be like these weird sounds and, it wasn't supposed to replicate anything, any instrument. It was just to be a sound that someone liked. It felt so weird to me. It was such a disconnect. I was like, I didn't like it. Like it literally turned me off immediately. And I was one of those people that would like hunt down orchestrated versions of like Final Fantasy soundtracks back in the day because I loved it so much. I'm like, these melodies are so good. Nobuo Uematsu is king.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love it. And as soon as I heard it and I was playing, I was like, no, this ain't the same. And
That's so sad.
yeah, it was literally nothing that I ever thought I would even think about playing this game. It just registered me while I was playing it, and
it's just weird because nostalgia wise, you always have this certain feeling attached to an experience like a game, and when it doesn't meet the expectations, it kind of ruins it no matter how good the game is. It's like the whole World of Warcraft classic coming out and everybody's saying like, oh man, I can't wait till it comes out and I get to go and kill like 14,000 dogs again and get to level 2 and be happy. And I look back on the whole experience with WoW with a fond memory. But when I got into like actual classic, I was like, God, man, I don't want to have to do this shit again, because I poured so much time into that game, and I have a memory about it that like I don't want it to be sullied or changed. So I got to like level 13. I was like, I got to go. This is done. And so I completely understand when you're playing a new game and you're expecting something familiar, and then they change it, and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was just
it's weird.
It was a thing that I was not expecting at all. Like, if you told me that the game was going to have full orchestrated music beforehand, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what you would do. That's what you do for a remake. I'm on board. But as soon as I heard it, I was literally like not winning on myself. So I'm like, man, I don't know. And like,
Yeah.
and when you fight, there's a boss music in the game that doesn't play in the demo. I don't think so. That literally has this big riffing guitar that is the main melody for the whole thing. And if anybody knows that song, you can hear it in your head right now. I'm wondering, is that in the game, or is it just like a bunch of violins? Like, what does that entail? Like, I don't know. And it kind of drives me crazy. But that's long talk for a demo. So who wants to go next here? Shelby, you pick something.
I'm just waiting for Persona 5 Royal to come out.
So she can try it again.
So I can just re-roll, start from the beginning, and I'm going to stream. Every time I play, I'm going to stream it because I want to put it on YouTube.
So,
No?
When's it come out?
April?
You always say you're going to stream stuff, and you never do.
I'm going to do it. No, because I want to put...
The only way that you're...
so tilted. What?
The only way that... then you need to make a rule to yourself. Like, the only way I'm going to play it is if I'm streaming it.
Yeah.
Then
even if I don't feel like it, I'm going to try to motivate myself to at least stream or play that game a couple hours a
Isn't
night.
that company really weird about that, though? Like, weren't they, threatening?
They made very strict rules around streaming Persona 5 when it originally came out. But that was, 3 years ago? I imagine
Do you know if they've laxed up on those?
I'd hope they would have, because I think most companies, even Nintendo nowadays, like, they're embracing the digital platform of people playing, because they've realized that
it increases sales.
Yeah, I mean, you watch, someone like Carnage or some of these main people play like games that you enjoy, and you're not sure if you're going to enjoy it, and then all of a sudden you see how much fun they're having. Man, that's got to be a turn in profit otherwise than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Because, but hopefully they're very lax on that nowadays, and that you will be able to stream everything. And I don't know. Well, it was a weird portion of time that they had there, because there was a lot of companies. Even Nintendo was like, I'm going to copyright strike you and make you take it down. We're going to steal everything.
Yeah.
So
I'm wondering that new character that they have that you can put in your party, that lady.
It's going to be it's my new waifu.
Kasumi, I think is her name.
Yeah.
What cosplayer?
What if she's just like overpowered? What if she's OP as shit and just can like...
That's fine.
Like,
maybe I'll finally...
She has no weaknesses. She just...
Hey, Rory's here.
Hey!
Yeah, I don't know very much about her. I know she's a dancer, or she's like a ballet type girl, possibly.
Because this is weird for a Persona remake, because Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, which is a re-release of Persona 4 on the PS2, did add a new character, but it wasn't playable. It was just another social link. This is like a new character that you can have in your party, which is
That's pretty
new.
crazy.
I would love to play Persona 5 again. I love that game, so we'll see what happens.
I need to pick it back up.
Or do I still want to be with Futaba?
I will continue to watch from the side.
Is
I would not go with
5 Royale gonna come out on what?
PlayStation 4.
30th, I think.
I have it on my calendar. Hold, please.
I think it's the 30th.
31st.
But it's only gonna come out on PS4.
It's only on PS4. Yes, it's not on Switch.
Well, I did have it on my calendar. Where is it? Oh no, I have it on the calendar in the kitchen.
Just an exclamation
sure.
point.
Yeah. I wrote down the Animal Crossing release date on the calendar too.
Doing the good old Google. We'll find out in a second. October. That's not.
That's not
correct.
right. It might be because of this damn virus. Like,
Yeah.
all
And
this
if you're in the
supply
chat and you have a
constraints.
question, feel free to ask a question. I know we've already got a couple questions in the Discord as well. But who wants to go next? What have you been
We
playing?
can go with Kathy. Kathy,
You beat 3 houses.
she beat Fire Emblem 3 Houses here recently.
I did. I feel like I still feel like there's more to play though, because
There's 3
there's
different houses.
3 different houses. So
Oh.
there's 3
different sets of
different-
characters that you meet and everything.
Yeah, like if I chose a different house, my entire like party would be different, and it would be different personalities. It would be a different story, but I guess all the stories connect.
So
But
beyond all that, how'd you feel about what you played?
I felt really, really good about it.
I believe you said it was your favorite Fire Emblem.
I think it is. Fire Emblem Awakening was also really good. So I think I like this one better. They're real close.
This one seems like with the whole monastery stuff, and you're running around talking to people, hanging out with stuff. It has a lot of Persona-esque elements where you have social links with people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you do, but it's not as big in the social links as you
As
would
Persona.
think, I guess. But they did have a calendar system, and at the beginning of the week, you would teach your class pretty much, and you'd have to keep them motivated. And so basically, you would rest them to motivate them, or if they were MVP in battle, then that would motivate them. Different things would motivate them. And if they were motivated, the more they were motivated, the more you could teach them. And the more you could teach them, the more their stats went up. And so you would pick a few each week that you would work with to sort of get their stats up. And then they would like take these certifications and these exams, and it would give them like a greater class. And there was like a beginner class, intermediate class, advanced class, and so forth. So you could sort of elevate them that way. And then at the end of the month, you had like your main mission. But there were these, throughout the month, you could do like different side quests. You could explore the town and do little quests for people in your monastery. So, it was like Persona in that it had the calendar thing. But I thought the voice acting was really amazing. I could definitely read the words, but I always played with the sound turned up because I wanted to hear them talk. And I would always wait until the end of their sentence before I hit the next button, even if, it takes longer that way. And what was neat too is that there's like this 5-year gap. So you're pretty much like, I guess, in like a high school atmosphere at a monastery, and then something happens and sort of takes you offline for 5 years, and then you come back, and so you get to see different versions of all the characters because they're all grown up now, and it was kind of neat to see that. But I want to go back and I want to play at least one other perspective, or I have so many games to play. I don't know if I could commit to beating it again a second and a third time. But I just want to go back and sort of get a feel for what it would be like from a different perspective.
Yes.
It's a great game.
You're going to be
Played that
playing Animal
game-
Crossing
played
with
that
me for
game
months.
one night. Played it one night, and I was like, I don't know if this is my type of game. I got it for Shelby because I thought she would love the shit out of it, and she didn't.
I got
don't
to the
even think-
monastery and I was like,
I loved it. It's
So-
like chess. I mean,
Yes, it's a...
very chess-like.
yeah, I don't think I've ever played a RTS before.
I like it.
So
Is it an RTS?
It's not RTS.
it's a real-time strategy.
turn-based strategy is what it is.
Turn-based strategy.
Mhm. Stella Glow is another good one that's really similar to
That's like
Fire
Final
Emblem.
Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, well, I really like that type of game, I guess.
Well, I'm going to call on Josh next to talk about the Division 2 here.
Yeah. which I ended up stop playing because it was getting a little too real.
Too
with
real?
life. I was like, when I'm hearing audio recordings about like a family barely being able to survive because some group of thugs have come in, and you hear like audio recordings and shit like that, I was like, God, it's like this shit's still hitting a little too close for home.
Yes.
Because but yeah, I picked up, so I started playing maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and trying to, well, I guess it was like a week or two before the expansion came out. I wanted to get through like the main story, so I worked my way through the main story because I had put it down last year around this time because I went to the convention and never picked it back up.
Yeah.
And it's still fun. It's a weird guilty pleasure because it's just like the gunplay in that game is just really, I don't know. It's very real. Like you hear like if you're wearing surround sound, you hear like pings off the wall behind you, or like vehicles or glass breaking. Like it just feels very real, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, the cosmetic system. It doesn't feel like it's behind really much of a paywall. Like you're constantly getting chest, so you make yourself look cool. And then I played the expansion, and it was such a ramp up in difficulty. It was so weird. It was like,
Yeah, I've heard that about it.
one day I'm playing it and I'm like, man, this is really fun. It seems like a pretty decent difficulty, but for the most part, I'm doing really well. And then it was like, I'm here to take your lunch and I'm going to eat it in front of you and I'm going to kick you in the stomach after I'm done. And then I'm going to take your money too. And I guess it's back in that territory where you need to play with someone. And
Yeah.
it's just, it's different. And
It's a perfect time to play with other people.
Yeah.
Lockdown,
like they
baby.
said, last Saturday, I guess they had like 200 or 20 million concurrent Steam users.
Yeah, I read that
which
story
is like
too.
their record.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So people are staying inside. It's just, I don't know. It's.
I was one of those Steam users.
Yeah, I might go back and play it. But
maybe when there's a bit more hope that you can
yeah,
latch on to.
The last thing I want to do is play something that like it's currently going on in my life, where they're talking about like, I know in that game they're talking about a biological weapon that got released in New York and shit like that. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, at the end of the day, like it's still a little too close to home. And the last thing I want to do, like, you play video games to escape. The last thing I want to do is like train what I might be doing in 9 months or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Animal Crossing came out at the exact right time in the world.
That's true.
Yeah.
People.
So peaceful, simple life.
I'm so happy, just picking my goddamn oranges and living my life.
And they encourage so much
know.
social interaction in Animal Crossing. They want you to talk to your neighbors every day.
I played a pit. I don't know if it's on there, but I played a shitload of World of Warcraft randomly again. Like, I don't know. Like, I just got sucked back in, and for some reason, I've latched on to some of these, like, I don't know, things that took a long time to do, and I would get on and play like an hour or so a day, and I was like, I'm gonna get this done. I want to be able to fly in the new world. So I went and did all the quests and did my dailies and stuff like that. And there was like a month and a half there where I would play like maybe an hour a day to get what I wanted to get done. And then after I got it done, I was like, well, that served its purpose. It did what I needed to do, was allow me to play something before I had to, like, continue on and go to bed and go back to work and shit like that. But for some reason, I randomly jumped into that, and then they tease me now with like 100% XP until April 20th.
Damn.
So now I'm sitting here going like,
that's all the XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother texted us this morning about that.
Yeah, so I've been debating again of like jumping on and wanting to level a few characters and things like that. It's always going to be my guilty pleasure. I think I've sworn it off 100 times, and at this point, I always come back. So I'm not even going to swear it off
It's like
anymore.
smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like when I get that itch, I'm gonna do it, and then get it out of my system and move on with my life. But I played a lot of that too, and then
Sounds
I don't
like
know
me
if
and The Sims.
yeah. She's like, ooh, there's a new small X pack where you can like be an art dealer.
Cool.
They do have a crafting DLC coming out, like a knitting and sewing expansion pack. that I'm waiting for too.
Yeah. I think I did 2 of my stuff right there. I don't know what we're doing.
Catherine,
Yeah,
me and you have been playing Luigi's Mansion 3.
we have. We
Oh,
played it today.
We streamed it out today. We streamed it out a week or 2 ago. Playing co-op.
We didn't see it.
We were playing co-op.
Yeah, we didn't. Well, we were out buying a router at that point.
Yeah, I guess so.
It is archived on our YouTube.
Yep.
Just Google Kathy Plays Classics if you are so inclined. But Luigi's Mansion 3, I really like it.
I like it too. Me and Andy don't play a whole lot of games together at the same time. We play separate games in
We
the
just
same
have
room.
different tastes, and then the tastes that we have that are similar, they're not co-op games, so we can't actually play them together.
Right. So that's been fun to play that with you. Even though I didn't start the game with you, I just sort of
Well, I had to unlock Luigi.
jumped on. How many stories have I played?
3, I think.
3. Yeah. But so you did 6 by yourself.
Well, those first ones are very short, and like you literally just have to unlock Luigi before co-op's available at all. I think I played 1 floor without you, and that was when we were in Canada, and I was just like, I'm just playing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Canadian.
it's been a lot of fun. It really reminds me a lot of playing that Resident Evil 2 remake late last year. Just with the trying to solve these puzzles within an environment that seems realistic, like these very realistic spaces, these very realistic. I don't know how to. I don't even know how to describe it. Just like puzzle solving in a area that seems familiar, and that goes for the Resident Evil remake. Like in the police station specifically. Like later on, you get into places where you're like, well, I'm never in a sewer. I'm never in a fucking virus lab or whatever you are later on in that game. But like, just the very down to earth, small, compartmentalized spaces that you're in this game, and with the beginning part of Resident Evil, just trying to figure out what you have to do in those little spots. I don't know. I like it a lot. And with the co-op stuff, with the Luigi stuff, where Luigi's basically invincible, so we can like figure out the big boss fights fairly simply. We don't have to die and start over, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And putting our heads together, or not even putting our heads together, like being completely separate, where she's thinking about one thing, I'm thinking about another, and one of us just happens to solve the puzzle, somewhere else in the room. That type of stuff, I think is fun.
It is really fun. And then I think it's fun too that the 2 different Luigi and Luigi sort of have different roles to play. Like you don't feel like you're fighting somebody to be the best. It's not a competition. Each person has like their own capabilities. Like Luigi can walk through
grates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also can't get through water. Water will destroy Luigi.
Right, but water's not going to hurt Luigi. Yeah. And Luigi can't open doors.
Yeah,
so
Luigi can't open doors.
They just sort of have their... But also, Luigi doesn't really get hurt. So they,
So you have to work together.
Yes.
You do.
I would highly recommend it as a co-op experience. It's a lot of fun.
Because other co-op experiences, I feel like, I don't know, I guess I get frustrated because Andy's not patient and doesn't wait for me, and he just sort of...
I don't do this, and you
goes
can watch the videos right now. I don't wait for her at all. I just walk away.
He doesn't...
Because she's Luigi, she just turns into goo and follows me.
But I think that's what's, I guess, so attractive about this game is the 2 have different roles to play, And both are equally important.
It's very seamless, too. Like
you don't feel like you're tagging along.
Yeah. You feel like you're doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So...
Let's see.
I see something that says Twitch sings sometimes here on this list.
Yeah. Kind of like, I'll go in and like complete duets every once in a while, or if I'm like done up and have makeup on, I'll open a duet or 2. but I haven't really been playing it as much, and I feel like I started playing it like this time last year because I think Twitch Sings is about to have their 1 year anniversary for not the beta, but because I was in the beta, so I think they're about to have their birthday for their like launch.
I would like to play more of it.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's fun. I miss playing it more, but I feel like I've run out of songs to sing, and I don't know. I just haven't felt like singing in a while.
That's neat. So,
Wait, so why don't you feel like you like singing?
I don't know. I don't feel as confident as I did last year when I first started streaming Twitch things for no particular reason. I just don't. I think if I had a mixer that I could play with, it's just I don't like hearing myself after because I don't like what it sounds like in Discord. And not in Discord, but in OBS particularly because it's just the Yeti mic that I sing with. And I don't like the audio quality.
it's sounded fine to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're a little too hard on yourself. I mean, when has there ever been a time that they didn't like, when has there ever been a time someone came in and been like, oh, this is awful, what the hell? Like,
Never, but at the same time, I never get featured on the Twitch Sings Twitter or the Twitch Sings Instagram, even though I've been there since beta.
Yeah, but you do it like once a month.
But even when I did it like every week, like consistently, I still was never featured. But they have people they feature all the time now.
I would also wonder
they stream like daily.
What those people, what is their gear setup? I bet they have a Yeti too.
I don't know. I mean, it's whatever. But I see you've been playing a lot of Ring Fit Adventures.
Yeah,
we've been getting.
I got a long list.
Too.
I was just gonna like run down the shit at the end because I don't have a lot to say about most of it. Ring Fit, yeah, I've been playing every day. It's still, my thoughts are the exact same as it was last time we did a podcast. It's still the best best fitness video game thing I've ever played. Gets me sweating. I think I'm near the end.
Oh shit!
I just did basically what amounts to like a boss gauntlet. So we'll see what happens once I've reached the end of this world. I mean, I don't know. I'm level like 115 now. And squats still suck. I hate squats.
Dude, fuck those frogs when you gotta squat. Like the purple ones, fuck them. Like, it's so frustrating.
Well, where I'm at right now, my most powerful attack, or at least it was my most powerful attack. I just got a new one recently. But my most powerful attack was a squat. And it did like 360 damage to a single enemy. And I would not do it because I didn't want to squat. Because there's so many levels that you run through where you have to do squats just in the level, not even fighting people. And my fucking thighs hurt. So, yeah.
So you were like, no more squats.
No more squats. I love that game, but fuck squats.
Yeah. So since we're not going to the gym anymore, like I've been playing that again, and I get to the squat part, and I'm like, God, fuck! Like I'm tired of squats. Yes, I don't want to do these anymore.
Squats are the worst. I'll go ahead and say Divinity Original Sin 2. I bought that game from a friend's recommendation. We were talking about Baldur's Gate 3, which has been talked about a lot for the past month or so. Like they've been showing it off at PAX and stuff. You know, when there were gaming conventions back in the day.
Yeah.
They the same company that made Divinity Original Sin 2 is making Baldur's Gate 3, and he was like, "You need to just try it. Just try Divinity." And I bought it, and I played about 3 or 4 hours of it, and it's about as complex and hard as I thought it would be, and I don't think it's for me. Even though I got really into it at the very beginning. But as soon as it's like the basic battles that you're in have to take so much thought, so much concentration. I was just like, this is too complex. It's too complex for me.
Yeah.
I don't have the mind for it. Even though I can recognize that it is a very, very well made game. And
I don't think I've ever played it.
I think it's cool. It was on sale for like $20 on Steam a few weeks ago. That's when I got it. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. Not for me. I guess I'll say something about Xenocrisis. I put it in the list here. It's an indie game made by the Bitmap Bureaus. I don't have it. I've never played it, but you could buy a original ass Sega Genesis cartridge with that game on it, and plug it into your Sega Genesis and play it. And it's like a dual joystick shooter, and the soundtrack's fucking amazing. I had all these plans to put a bunch of music in this podcast. I don't know if I will now, but I guess there's no reason I shouldn't. But goddamn, the soundtrack's fucking amazing. I listen to it every day. Jesus Christ, it's like just
Does it get you pumped?
Yes, it does. Oh my god, I listen to it while I'm playing Ring Fit, and it's fucking amazing. What about you, Shelby?
The Fallen Order?
The Fallen Order? That's the one I want to talk the most about.
Okay. Well, I am not playing Red Dead Online anymore. I was for a long time, but my PlayStation network or whatever, my membership
PlayStation Plus
ran out. Yeah, I gotta buy more.
Yes,
but I don't want to do that.
I wrote in the doc that I needed to start a character, and I did start a character, and I got to the point where you first have to matchmake with someone to do a mission, and I chicken out every time. Like, it starts matchmaking, I'm like, no, I'm not good enough, and I cancel out because I don't.
That's Shelby's jam.
Like, I'm just not.
That's my jam.
I don't know if I'm good enough at that game yet.
I mean, I'll do it. I'll do it with you whenever I get PlayStation Plus again.
So, I'll talk about Astrobot Rescue Mission here for a second.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, you guys. It is the best goddamn PlayStation VR game I've ever played. It is so...
Better than Bar Brawl?
That's number 2, for sure. But this one's so... God, like, it feels like a new experience when you're playing it. Like, I thought Lucy was humping that pillow. But, like, I get the same feeling that I had back when I played Super Mario 64 for the first time. Like, playing a game where everything's in 3D and you have to figure out, you know, like, it's just a big world to explore. It feels the same way, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like, you played a little bit of it. I don't think you got the same feeling at all. But you had some problems with the VR.
Yeah, I think Andy's head is too big, and
yeah, that's true.
I think he's deformed.
That's not true. What the fuck are you talking about?
The headset. So when I put it on my head, like, all this light's coming in from the sides, and it really pisses me off.
I think you're just wearing it wrong.
No. And I honestly get exhausted playing the VR. It tires me out really quickly. I can't do it for long periods of time. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but like, I could sit and play Animal Crossing for 10 hours, but I could probably only play the VR for 30 to 45 minutes. And then I'm like done.
I think it's because I wear glasses that, like, VR messes with me a lot. And I can't wear my glasses when I wear the VR headset.
Yeah, well,
there's been several times that we're like in Best Buy. I'm like, how do I get this?
Don't.
I should get this.
You should do it. Do it.
So I just want to, dude. The bar brawl is fucking awesome. Where you can like, you get a hold of them. As long as you can get a hold of them, you're just like,
Yeah.
and you're just like fucking them up.
I don't regret
But,
it at all. Like, I still like it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that
We're
I said essential PlayStation VR game in my little comments here, and it is. If you have a PlayStation VR, you should get this game. It's a fun little platformer, not unlike a Mario, not unlike a Crash Bandicoot, I guess, but easier. Crash Bandicoot's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
we're gonna wait. We're waiting to get a VR set up when we move into
We get a
VR
house.
Oh yeah,
because we want to get a place over a garage. Like that's the main thing. Like a lot of people are like, we got to make sure we have like the perfect kitchen, or we got to, and we're like, we got to make sure we have something over the garage.
bonus room.
So we're gonna set up this whole room. Yeah,
We
so
need
you're
a
gonna-
bonus room that can fit both our desks, all our pop figures, a VR, and basically up like the bonus room is where we're gonna have like game nights.
Yeah, it's gonna be like we both have like we pretty much have converging ideas of what we want, but we want it to be
Mhm.
like the essential room that like that everybody comes over and they can like we could play video games over here, or we can go and play card games over here. We could
Mhm.
record the podcast here or things like that. Like we want to have something that is an all a
Yeah.
nerd type room.
All
And I
encompassing.
want a stream setup where the pops are behind me, just so they're displayed, because you can see some of them, but they're the bigger ones are in the closet. But we have like 2 shelves of full of pop figures.
Yeah, and like, let's see, gotta get Beat Saber. Use the Maul Saber. I guess that's like the Darth Maul, like a Darth Maul saber.
Like the double-sided saber for
Where you're
Beat
just like-
Saber.
But
like
that's
that
our
better.
goal. And maybe by the time like another couple years, we'll VR will be really like in a good spot
Oh yeah.
where you don't feel bad about buying early adoptive type VR.
It seems like it's advancing quickly.
Yeah. So that's our goal. But man, if there was anything I could like buy, I would buy like that Bar Brawl game because it's just so
Yeah,
satisfying
it's-
to like
It
have 3
is
people
so
come
It's,
to you. and
it's
you're just
also
like,
fucking hilarious. Like it's
I think Josh
Yeah.
just wants to let off some steam.
just
Yeah.
hit someone with a bar stool.
Yeah. Just throw a beer bottle at someone.
All right.
Cat Brown,
yeah.
I'm gonna leave you here to talk about Kirby's Tilt and Tumble for us.
I don't
You ready?
really have too much to say.
Well, you have to say a lot because I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh. Well, hurry up.
You're playing it on the Game Boy Color though.
Yes. Playing it on the Game Boy Color. It's a super cute game. It comes in a
Joshua.
pink cartridge.
Uh-huh.
And who doesn't love a pink cartridge? What do you have, Josh? What
He's been taking shots of Fireball the entire podcast.
are
I have.
are you
And it's home.
are you
It's a Homer
crunk?
shot glass.
Oh, I see Homer
Yeah.
now. That's
I
awesome.
swear to God, if you break-
No, this is only number
fucking
3.
nasty.
Listen, this is only 3. I'm fine. Rory has seen me, Swifty.
No,
It's
I've
gonna be
seen
fine.
both of you fucking wasted.
We should
I have
somehow play
video
that
proof.
video. We should somehow play that video in
Well, you'd have to send it to Andy and he'll splice it in.
Yeah.
Because y'all got drunk off of some strawberry moonshine and you guys were like mind blown that the strawberries in the moonshine had somehow grown hair.
it looked like balls too. That's what was the worst thing. We had like
What?
taken shots of this the entire time, and like one of us pointed out that it looked like 2 testicles inside, and it was like, oh no, they were testicles. See, he's confirming it. So at that point, it was like,
We're like 300 pounds. Dude, we will do what we need to do. Lilu, save me, Lilu. I mean, we got everybody fucked. Okay.
I don't know. And then we played this dumbass card game where it was like Shelby picks a card and we have to pick the number.
We were playing 21.
Hold on.
No, we
hold
were
on.
playing something that was bullshit.
So
We
you're
were playing
telling
some sort of bullshit game.
you're telling me there were hairy balls in your strawberry moonshine?
It
What?
looked like balls.
Was it
after
just
was
strawberries? What the hell was it?
over. It was it's the moonshine. So I guess it was like the early stages of them making moonshine, and yeah, Rory's right. It was
It was
blackjack.
blackjack.
Yeah.
21.
Well, blackjack.
Ever.
But it was the early stages. So nowadays, like when you get moonshine, they don't have like actual strawberries and shit anymore. At least I don't feel like I see it. But this is like the early stages of them making it with like fruit, and the strawberries were in there, and it looked like fermented balls. So we were taking shots of this shit, and then there was one point where we looked at the mason jar, and it looked like old man balls, and it was just after that point we were like, we're not drinking this anymore. So then we started taking shots of something else.
Oh no.
And we were playing blackjack, and Shelby was trying to get us like fucked up. We were at the point formaldehyde balls. It was gross, but we were at the point where we Skyped in my friend Batch, or our friend Batch, and he was helping us so we would win. So she would pick up the card, and then he'd be kind of like, oh no man, you shouldn't say. We were trying to save our lives because Shelby was sitting here like basically tricking the cards into getting us to drink more. So then it all led to this like one video where I guess Shelby grabbed my cell phone, and Rory's saying something, and I'm like, I don't know, dude, we're gonna do it. And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, man, we're all just getting fucked. It's a funny video. I guess I could send it over just to get it spliced in, but
yes,
it's just
because I'm
with Rory's approval.
I'm having a problem here. When I left, we were talking about Kirby's Tilt and Tumble. When I came back,
it was because Kirby.
It was old man balls, and
Rory looks.
That
It's because,
I just can't.
It's because
like,
the strawberries look like Kirby's balls.
I don't know how we got there either, but it happened.
I was gone. Like I peed. That's how long it took. I didn't Austin Powers pee.
Kathy was telling me about the pink cartridge, and Josh was holding a shot, and I was like, "Don't do that."
Yes, do that.
And his
Yeah,
shot
we
glass
knocked it
had
off the rails
Homer Simpson on it.
It has Homer on it. Look at him.
Which
Let's
was
see it.
cool.
It's the Homer where he
That's real blurry.
donuts.
Blurry.
Clear.
Hold it near your
Blurry.
face. Lib.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
I can't see myself. Look, it's the Homer where he's like, I think that's the Homer where he sees the Statue of Liberty on that woman's ass, and he went and reaches to grab it, or he does.
No,
like,
it was the Venus de Malo in
Yeah.
gummy form.
and
Sweet.
and like so
I remember
he
that
went.
episode.
we could get into some Simpsons lore if we wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But he goes to this like candy convention.
Yes.
And like he steals this like magical candy.
It's the Venus de Malo
And,
of gummy.
Yeah. And I guess he loses it somewhere, and it's in the car, and then he's taking this babysitter home, and she's sat on it, and
I believe her name was Ashley.
being Homer. Yeah, you should probably be telling us because I haven't watched
Yes,
this in like 10 years.
she accuses him of sexual harassment because he thinks she's pinching her ass, but he's trying to get a gummy Venus de Malo off her ass so he can eat it. And he just goes, sweet.
He's like, oh.
Yeah.
But
That's what
yeah,
happened.
we are way off the rails.
Hold on, I'm going further. My favorite bit in that episode
Oh God.
is when the Channel 5 News or whatever does the thermal camera on their house, and they're rotisserie a chicken in the oven, and Kit Brotman's like, we believe that's Homer Simpson right there, because all they see is the thermal thing, and he's like, he's soaking in his own sexual juices, rotating slowly, and it's just him. It's just a fucking chicken spinning. It's the best part of that whole episode.
That is funny.
The man, the entire 90s Simpsons and maybe a little bit of early 2000 Simpsons are just fucking amazing. And anybody who says it, I will fight you. I will fight you right now because it is really, really
Some
good.
of the best television ever
And
made.
it's so watchable, and it's one of those shows that like you can put on the background and you can look over and enjoy it. It's just
we
so
watch
good.
it all
It's the
the
reason
time.
why I have it's the reason why I have like the first 14 seasons and then I stopped because it's just like, okay, I don't know what happened, but I only had 2 shots, Rory. Relax. But
Relax.
I don't know. We are way off the rails. But yeah, we call this podcast, or we can call this like moonshine balls.
Yeah, we could.
Pixel
I
podcast.
thought it was social distancing.
Social distancing.
And moonshine
social
balls.
distancing while sipping on moonshine
Social
balls.
moonshine. So I guess there's only one more.
But Kirby
Oh,
Oh yeah.
tilted.
So I picked that game up in Canada. I picked up a lot
so
of
you didn't
games.
talk about it at all while I was gone?
Not really.
It just went straight to balls?
No.
Just pink
What
cartridge.
the fuck?
We didn't talk about what the game was. Anyway, my Game Boy Color is pink. The cartridge was pink. I was really happy. And
You have a pink Game Boy Color?
I do. Well, it's like a pinky red. It's like a dark pink. And I thought it was super innovative for a Game Boy Color because you actually tilt Kirby around.
There's a tilt sensor in the cartridge.
Yeah, and so I'm
Oh.
like, when I play this game, I'm like this, just tilting around.
Just dancing.
Pretty much. And it's really fun, and it works well, actually. It controls well. It's really fun. I can only play it for like a little bit at a time because I get really stressed playing
It's
it.
hard.
I think the part that stresses me the most is Game Boy Colors don't have the backlit screen, so I
Yeah,
can't see.
you have to find the light
I'm
just
like,
right.
I
You're like-
can't see.
But with a game where you have to tilt the fucking screen, you're like, well, I'll lose it. So,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
But you could play it on a Game Boy Advance with a backlit screen.
I could, and I think that I tried, but it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't the same.
Oh. Whatever. So, we got one more game to talk about here. And it is mine.
And only, yeah.
Wait, never mind.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I think only you and Josh will have opinions on this game.
My opinions aren't controversial at all. It is Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order. Josh gave a long rant on our lists of the year. He didn't like it. I'm going to say that I like it. I like it probably more than probably the average person. There's things about it that I don't like. Specifically when you get into like some of the combat scenarios. So for those who don't know, it's a game based in the Star Wars universe that basically they just lifted and copied and pasted the Dark Souls formula and put it in the Star Wars universe with a Jedi that no one's ever heard of in between episodes, I guess, 3 and 4. And it plays like a Dark Souls game, except for when you get into kind of like very super fast-paced combat with some of the enemies, and it feels very hard to figure out why you're not dealing damage to people, why you're doing some of the. They have the same thing that Sekiro has, the poise meter, where people can block it and they take poise damage, they don't take physical damage. And when you can, the combat's so fast in this game, unlike some of the stuff in Dark Souls where it's very deliberate, very slow paced, it feels very hard to figure out, to me, why am I not dealing damage to this dude? What's going on here? I went here and wheel on the square button over and over again. But overall, that aside, I can get past that because the game's easy enough. It's not Dark Souls hard. The game's easy enough that you can get past that. But when I first started playing it, I had heard Josh talk about it, and he was saying that that he didn't like it. And when I first started playing, I was like, yeah, I could feel this. Like, what? There's nothing here. Like, it feels very soulless, I guess, for the most part. It felt like they stuck a Star Wars coat of paint on something that didn't feel good to play.
Yeah.
But I don't know. At some point, playing through, like, it might have been on Kashyyyk, the Wookiee planet. Like, I don't know, something took a hold of my brain, and I started playing it like more of a Dark Souls game. Like, okay, I'm gonna unlock this shortcut. I just gotta get to this meditation point. I don't know. It felt very good at that point, and I'm liking it a whole lot more than I did at the very beginning. When you first get to that first tutorial planet, that's not even the tutorial planet. The tutorial planet is like on this cool ass like scrap planet, kind of like a level in Shadows of the Empire on N64, which I really enjoyed. But it's like this whole other planet where you're trying to find this like archives of this old Jedi who's trying to tell you where to go, and I didn't like that at all. But as soon as the stuff started opening up more, where you got more abilities, more traversal abilities, and I like it. Like, I don't love it. I'm not gonna like say, Josh, you're wrong, and here's why. I'm gonna say I like it, and I understand why you don't. So that's my big controversial opinion.
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest problems with the game is the fact that I went into it thinking it was going to be one game, and then I got a different game. And I guess when I think it's going to be something like, if I get a Dark Souls game, or if I get a Sekiro, or if I get what is the new one, Neo 2?
Yeah, Neo 2.
I know what I'm getting into. And I'm in that mindset. I've already gone through, like, I'm buying this because I know what I'm getting into. I probably won't beat this game, but at the end of the day, I'm going to like it for what it is. And I think when I bought Jedi Fallen Order, I thought of it more of like, man, I really enjoyed Force Unleashed. I'm ready to get in. I'm going to enjoy it. And it wasn't that. And it was okay, I'm trying to transition it to be Dark Souls-esque, and I just couldn't do it. And there were some other issues. Like, I was playing it the day it came out, or at least the week that it came out, so it took them a while to patch out some of the issues that I guess they've fixed now.
It still has a lot of
the
issues.
whole sliding down. Yeah, the whole sliding down these like fucking corridors and like having to make your jumps.
Yeah.
Like, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was fucking bad.
That I don't like that part. And it sucks about that game because it's literally every planet. Every planet you go to, you have to slide down something several times.
Yeah.
And there's some,
and it brings you out of.
Yeah, but those parts I don't mind, but it does bring me out of it. The parts that I don't like is when you have to do the force slow on like the little gears that you have to jump through, because I mess it up every single time. Like, the gear just stops right in front of me and I fucking die, or I fall and lose a little bit of health. But
my biggest issue with the sliding parts is, so I don't mind things being difficult, but I like to be able to have a rest or be able to like think about what I'm doing. And what was happening was, you don't die when you fall. It just takes a half of your health away, or a little bit of your health away, and it brings you back to that spot again. So then I'm sitting there like basically on repeat, going through the entire fucking thing over and over and over again, not being able to actually think to myself like, okay, this is what I'm doing wrong. It was like, okay, motherfucker, you got to do this right now. Here you go. Oh, you fucked up? We're putting you right back again. Oh, you fucked up? Guess what? You're going back again. And it kept on happening to the point where it was like annoying.
yeah,
And I was having a very difficult time like having fun. As far as the story goes, I really enjoyed the story because they introduced some things, and I'm not going to spoil it because I know you're still going through it. They introduced some things that are kind of cool, and I think it expands out the Star Wars universe. Like, it actually helps add to. But man, the journey to get there fucking sucked for me.
Yeah, they've already said that Respawn's making a sequel, so hopefully they can expand on that.
And maybe
I'd be interested to see what that looks like.
yeah, and maybe this time when I go into the sequel, I'll know what I'm getting into, and I might enjoy, or I probably will enjoy what's going on. But the fact that I guess, and it might be my fault, it 100%, because recently, like over the past couple of years, I don't watch a lot of videos anymore about games. I go, well, that looks cool, that looks fun, I'm good. I don't do the same thing like I used to, where I'd like become obsessed over a game and I'm watching everything and I'm looking and reading about everything. So it 100% could have been my fault that I went into it thinking it was going to be Forced Unleashed.
Oh yeah.
But when I went into it and then I got into that game, I was like, this isn't Forced Unleashed. I got to play it differently than I want to, and it didn't work with me.
It didn't click for you.
Yeah. I mean, Shelby was watching me. I would be playing, and then I'm like, man, I'm really enjoying it. And then all of a sudden something happens, and it's just like,
I
this
hate this
brings
game.
me out of the game. Yeah, like it just brought me out of the game. Like the whole traversing the world and like the Metrovania style that like
I love the
had to
Metrovania
planet.
style. Oh my god, that's my favorite part.
I don't know. I'd rather have a linear. I guess I just
Yeah,
wanted
like
something
my Star
else.
Wars
Yeah,
games to be
you-
a linear experience, and having to go back to a planet again and being like, okay, did I traverse this part? Did I go through here? Oh, I got to get up here and do this. Oh, well, I have this power now to do this. But it sounds so hypocritical. But then I could put this on the list, but like I didn't think about it until now. I'm playing Ori
with the list.
Oh, you are.
yeah, and that totally contradicts what I'm just saying right
That's
now.
totally a
because
Metrovania.
I'm playing that game, but I know that it's a Metrovania style game, and because then I'm like, I'm getting double jump, and I'm like, oh, I can go back there
Yep.
and I can do this. I don't know why it clicks with that game and not Jedi, and I might not be able to ever explain it, but for some reason, I went into that game thinking it was going to be something, and I completely understand the people who like it, and I may have been a little too harsh when I went over, my top 5 or whatever, but
It was on your
My
worst
worst.
games of
And
2019.
because the podcast right before that, I was like, I was on board. I was like, this is going to be so amazing. This is awesome. I can't wait for this game to come out. So I guess I went from Christmas time thinking I'm going to get the coolest present in the world. I open up the present and it's shit. And I'm like, fuck. So that's my whole experience with
Well, I think the disconnect can be with with Ori and with Star Wars. Ori is a 2D game, and when you get those abilities,
Yeah.
it doesn't take that long to get to where you need to go to use that ability. Where I've realized this in Star Wars last weekend when I realized I didn't have any of the little stim pack upgrades for BB-8 or whatever the fuck the droid is to give you more health. Basically Estus Flask,
BB9?
whatever the fuck the robot's called.
No, I don't remember what the name is.
Uh,
I'm just sitting here trying to think.
but I didn't have any of them, so I had to I'm in this area where I'm just getting killed by everybody, and I have to go get these, so I have to pull up a guide. So I pulled up a guide, and just going.
It's really easy.
Trying to traverse through those environments again takes a long time versus like Ori, where you get a new ability. It doesn't take you. Everything's so quick and so fast in that game. Star Wars is trying to mix a Metroidvania with a Dark Souls slow type of thing. Maybe isn't the best idea in the world, and hopefully Respawn will take some criticisms that I'm sure a lot of people gave, like Josh did, and me. I have criticism too, and we'll take those to heart with the next game. But I'm enjoying it. I'm hoping to beat it soon. Who knows?
There's sorry to interrupt here, but there's a certain main ability that I feel like that you could not get if you don't go back and search around, like a double-bladed lightsaber or dual-wielding lightsaber.
I got the double-bladed lightsaber.
It feels like that. There's a dual wielding, so you can carry around 2 of them.
I didn't get that.
It makes me Yeah, there's a part where like I feel like if you don't go and actually search out for it, you could get through the entire game without having it, and like because there's no main portion unless I came across of it early, which I very well could have. I don't remember like the story pushing me to go get
Yeah,
this.
and
So like it
they don't push you.
makes me wonder.
They don't push you to
because-
get any of those health upgrades or any of that stuff. Like you could miss all of that
Yeah.
stuff. They don't even. Yeah, that's. It's a. I don't know. It's a weird game to talk about because it has a lot of problems, but I like a lot of it because
Yeah, I think
just in the moment when
I
I'm
think
playing
it's a
it,
good start.
in the moment when I'm playing it, I feel that same way I feel when I'm playing Dark Souls, where it's just like, okay, I'm gonna take my time, look around the corners. Where's this guy at? Where's this guy at? All right, there's a dude. What do I need to do to take this dude out, efficiently? That type of stuff. And my favorite thing in the world, when people shoot their lasers at you and you hit that, deflect, block it right at the right time, it shoots it back at them. I'll live for that shit. If I can get that every single time, I am super happy. But that's enough.
I think that's something. Yeah, that's enough.
I would say that's enough
for
video
double
game talk. I have this whole list of news stories that are super
wait.
old.
Wait, I wanted to go back to Ori because
Oh, yeah,
that is
sure.
something that both me and you and we are playing. Man, talk about an emotional investment right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
They make you fucking they're Pixar in you right off the bat.
That-
They're making you feel
That
things
game has
where you're just like,
that game has amazing production values. It is insane how good that game looks.
I'm still I don't know how far I am in. So I had the fuck up where like the game broke.
Oh, yeah,
on me. Like it actually broke.
You had a
So
door closed.
thankfully you queued me in. Yeah, you queued me in on being able to go back on saves. So I went back like I think it was 45 minutes and was able to like get back where it wasn't broken. And then I pushed on forward for
That's
another
good.
2 or 3 hours and I still need to play it. I don't know why I didn't pick it up this weekend. Probably because Animal Crossing. But it's a very manipulative emotional game. I guess that's the easiest way to, because Pixar definitely knows how to like hit at you. Like
Fuck
it
you,
took me-
Pixar.
Yeah, I really enjoy Pixar movies, but like the beginning of Up, like I couldn't watch that movie for years because of the beginning of Up because it just makes you feel so
I saw that movie.
so hopeless at the beginning,
seen it.
even though it becomes like, yeah, they have this montage in the movie where like,
I've seen the
just
montage
seems
with
like a
the old man and the lady dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just
Seen that.
like the first time I ever watched that, I had to turn it off because I was like, I don't know why it resonated or made me feel so bad, but I just couldn't. And it wasn't until years later that I went back and actually watched the whole movie through. This game has that feeling where you're like, everything is so uplifting and everyone's so happy, and then all of a sudden
Shit
it's just
goes
like,
to shit. Yeah.
fuck you. Poor owl and his wing, and you're like, oh, you finally fix his wing and everybody's happy, and then it's just like, so it's just a weird manipulative like emotional game, and I'm interested to see like how it continues on, after a couple more hours. I don't know how far I'm through at this point. I got like 30 or 40 achievement points out of it, so surely I'm not anywhere close to the end, but I don't know. It's fun. I can completely contradict myself where I'm like, I don't like Castlevania type style games, and then I go back and fucking I love it.
Yeah,
So,
when they're in
I don't know.
2D, they are an entirely different story. When you can zip across that map and get to where you need to go, it's a different story. But
Oop.
can I say this? We are running up on the end of our time here, I think.
Uh-oh.
It's wrestling time, so if you don't want to listen to wrestling, you should go and uh-oh. Did
What
my
in the world is
am
happening?
I still in?
I hear you.
You exited out of the window.
Is my video still there?
I
see
see
y'all.
some video.
It's Andy's screen.
What did I do?
I don't know.
Who's in the corner? Is that Josh?
That's
No,
Josh.
it's Josh's screen. How are we seeing your screen right now?
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Did you share your screen by accident?
I may have.
I'm gonna turn this on until you figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I see recycling bin. I see Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and Skype.
When are we gonna eat dinner, Andrew?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You guys haven't eaten dinner
No,
yet?
we haven't eaten dinner.
I'm back.
There you go.
I don't know what happened there.
There we go.
Right.
I don't see anybody. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know what happened.
But I was about to say I had this whole list of news stories that are completely out of date by now. Guess what? E3's canceled.
Yeah.
Who fucking saw that coming?
Yeah.
I did.
Playthroughs canceled.
I think
it's
everything's canceled.
for good.
Everything.
The Xbox One specs are out there. The PlayStation 5 specs are out there now. As of like 2 days ago.
And everybody thinks that their specs are better than the other specs. It's so fucking funny.
Who knows?
They're like, I have 45,000 teraflops, and it's like, our graphics card is better. It's so retarded. Sorry, I don't want to use that word, but come on, folks, get over it.
Yes. I will have to bleep that out later.
Sorry.
But no, fuck the news. What's going on in wrestling? Everything's canceled in wrestling as well, except for the live TV shows where they've been doing stuff in empty arenas.
Did it right. AEW did it fucking right, because I think they did a great thing by having the other wrestlers who weren't wrestling out in the audience, as opposed to WWE, who has no fucking buddy out in the audience. I hate it. And they're like re-showing old shit that I've already seen, and I don't give a fuck about it. I don't care.
It's pretty hilarious because the night that they showed, what was it, SmackDown, the first night they did that, I turned and looked at Shelby, and I was like, why don't they have wrestlers out here? Like, they're in the back. Why wouldn't they have them out here? Because at least that would give, some sort of interaction. And I kept on wondering, like, is AEW going to be the same way? Are they going to have the same issues? And no, they had the heels and the faces on each side of the ring, and they were jabbing and yelling at each other, and then they were yelling at people in the ring. And man, I don't like MJF, but he was fucking hilarious the entire time.
Yeah,
it's just,
I'm just wondering how long
AEW gets it.
I wonder how long they can keep up with that type of stuff. As lockdowns become more and more and more, where like I think it was the Austrian government a few weeks ago banned groupings of more than 5 people, so they can't do that with AEW wouldn't be considered essential business to keep up with. So I don't. That's why
right now
that's why I understood why WWE didn't do it, because I was like, well, they're trying to
abide
by some rules. AEW maybe not, but goddamn, it made for a way better TV show.
So
it was so good.
So the CDC provides guidelines, but they can't have police officers run in and enforce it. So it's all like, please do this, but they can't really enforce it at this point, especially when it's like a private event. They can get away with that type of stuff. But man, it really was a special thing because of the fact that like they had all these things lined up to happen. Like Brody Lee was supposed to show up in his hometown, and Matt Hardy was supposed to show up that night, but like it was supposed to be in front of a crowd, and for some reason it just worked. It worked really, really well.
It did.
Where the fact that like that swerve where you're like, oh, Matt Hardy's not going to be the exalted one. And you're like, well, what? Yeah, you're like, what the hell's going on here? Like, I don't understand. And you slowly started thinking, and I think I texted the group chat like right before, and I was like, I bet you Matt Hardy's going to be the 5th member, because they kept on sprinkling that in. They were like, he's going to be the Nick Jackson's not going to be there, or was it Matt Jackson? Which one? Whatever.
Nick Jackson.
he's
Yeah.
going away because his wife's having a baby.
And he was hurt.
So
He
like
got hurt.
he's gonna be gone. Yeah. So
Wink, wink,
it's like,
nudge, nudge.
was he really hurt? Like, is he legit
well,
hurt,
he
or
got they wrote him off.
or is he kayfabe hurt?
Kayfabe hurt. It was they had that garage door thing that they
Yeah.
hit him with.
But he got kayfabe hurt because his wife probably had her baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it was just like a perfect setup. And they had Vanguard 1 come in, and they said that
Yeah.
like, if they were going to do that in the actual place that we were going to do it, they weren't going to be able to have him fly it in. So it was like, it all worked out. I don't know if anybody's listened to the podcast with Jericho and Matt Hardy yet, but
I've heard
if you wanna-
segments.
if you want to, yeah, if you want to get a little bit of an insight of what they were going to originally do, it was very interesting there. But it was really good. I jumped up and marked out and screamed
did?
like I was 12-year-old again, seeing fucking Shawn Michaels come back for the 19th time. Like, I don't know. It was a very interesting experience, and the fact that they were able to pull it off with like very minimum like crowd interaction besides like
A handful of people.
the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
and like having MJF out there like placing
Taking
bets
bets,
with Sean Spears.
With
It
Shawn
was just so good.
Jake the Snake in the
It was really
crowd
fucking
with
hilarious.
fucking Lance Archer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murder Hawk.
Murder Hawk,
And then Colt Cabana fucking having that rift with
Kip Sabian.
not Joey
Kip
Janela,
Sabian.
but Kip
Yeah.
Sabian.
Kip Sabian.
And
They're
he's-
really
and-
pushing Penelope.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't win
But-
that match,
but it
but
was-
she almost did.
Yeah, she really, really fucked up that one point
Yeah,
though.
she
She
did.
like
Yeah.
almost hurt herself
Yeah.
really, really bad. But the Kip Sabian running up to Colt Cabana and Colt Cabana pushing him, he's like,
I'm a wrestler too.
What
Like,
are you doing?
What do you think you're gonna do? I'm a wrestler. Like, and I'm big.
And he
I'm
slaps him.
I'm bigger than you, you small child. Like, Colt Cabana's
Yeah.
huge. Like, he's a big dude.
Yeah,
I like his
makes-
finishing move. It's pretty interesting.
yeah. The dive over Superman and then grab the
Yeah.
legs, or like,
Uh-huh.
well, I guess it's his pinning move or whatever. But it's I don't know. AEW is just doing really well. I was very, very skeptical, and I will fully eat my words right now that like they are putting on the better product. They're 100% putting on the better product. It's made by people who like to watch wrestling.
Well, they already
And
said
that's the only thing I could say.
they've said Blood and Guts is postponed. Like, they won't do it next week.
Yeah. Apparently Jericho and Matt Hardy are
They're
gonna
gonna
have a match.
Well, I heard it was a face to face, maybe not a match. I don't know.
Face to face.
Yeah.
I thought it was a match, but
We'll see.
either way, it's still gonna be really, really good.
Yes.
And it just kind of puts a perspective. Like AEW shines that light on it, WWE, of what they're doing wrong. And when they do it wrong now, they do it really, really wrong. Where you're just like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's just like
They're
it's
so
turned the
narrow,
channel.
tight.
Like I don't want to see this. Like, this is terrible.
Yeah. And they did a little bit better job last night on SmackDown. Like, it wasn't as bad. Like, I felt like the segment with the fucking dirt sheet was kind of funny, but like, I'm worried about WrestleMania, even though I am excited about it being a 2-night event.
I'm excited about it.
With them saying that,
I'm excited about it being a 2-night event.
as long as they
and
don't
it's-
film it ahead.
And it's being recorded across multiple locations. Like, that says to me maybe they are gonna, expand their, creative wings. They're gonna do things that they don't normally do. And that, when
Yeah.
WWE's back to a corner,
Wait.
they make magic. Who knows if they do that now?
Yeah.
But historically, they have.
What worries me about the whole thing is the fact that there were rumors about them pre-recording a lot of the matches, and
Well,
I
they've
don't
already
really
said that
want to
they-
go into WrestleMania it being spoiled.
Yeah, they've already said everything up
I
to
don't-
WrestleMania is going to be pre-recorded. All the shows, but like Raw and SmackDown, I don't even NXT is up in the air. Who knows if they're going to record anything
leading
for
up
that? Yeah,
to.
leading up to everything's going to be pre-recorded, which it makes sense. I mean, it's good health-wise, so they don't have to fly everybody in every
Yeah.
week, twice a week, 3 times a week, to record shows. So, yeah.
We're in such a weird time.
Mhm.
It's like this. I don't want to hark back on like what we're currently going through, but it's like I was telling Shelby today, it's like we're going through a hurricane right now, but it's a worldwide hurricane and there's no end in sight.
Yeah.
Like there's no like, as long as the hurricane has a landfall here, it'll be done in 2 days. And as long as things aren't fucked up, life will go back to normal. But it literally feels like our life has been hit with a pause button and we're kind of still existing in that pause. But you don't know like what comes up tomorrow because they might announce like tomorrow or next week they're supposed to announce like the study that they're doing with the malaria drug, and there's been rumors that it has like 100% heal rate and stuff like that. So we could be sitting here in 3 weeks where we have it under control, or at the very least we have a therapy to be able to help fix it. Like you give someone medicine, go home, sit at home for 3 days, and we're good. Or we're going to be continue to doing these podcasts, social distancing for the next 6 to 8 months. But it's just a weird time, and
It is weird.
it's nice to have that escape. It's nice to have that escape from wrestling.
Yes, and
Because at least 2 to 3 hours, where you don't have to think about things and you're just kind of watching. But then there's kind of like, I don't know. Then you get snapped back into reality and you're like, fuck.
well, I'll say
I'm gonna have to sit in my house and
yes. I will say this. I'm gonna wrap this up here because me and Kathy had to eat at some point. These are very uncertain times. These are very stressful times for a lot of people, including us, all that you see here. But I believe, this is my soulful belief, we will get through this. There's
Yeah.
light at the end of the tunnel. It might be months. I don't think it's gonna be years. It might be months. But we will get through this. Everyone will be able to, hug their grandparents again. Everyone will be able to hang out with more than 5 people again. Everyone will be able to do what they want to do. But it starts with you listening. If you can stay at home, stay at home. Don't hoard anything. Let your fellow community members get what they need to. Don't go out and hang out with more than 5 or 10 people more. Please wash your hands. 20 seconds with the soap and water is the best. I like to sing, I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I got the looks that drive the girls wild. I got the moves that really move them. I sent chills up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy.
I'm just a sexy
There we
boy.
go.
Boy.
Sing that song. You got
I have no idea what the fuck that
the
was.
Shawn Michaels theme
Shawn
song.
Michaels intro music.
Just sing that to yourself.
Yeah.
Your hands will be clean. And please be safe out there because we can get past this. But the sooner we do is all up to us, right?
I think one of the biggest things is when humans are pushed back against their wall, like they're pushed back, and it feels like things are getting bad. We always seem to innovate, and we always seem to bring out the best. I think it's easy to focus on the negative.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, there's a lot of good going on, and just be kind to each other. Like if there's ever a point in time where you need to have some sort of empathy for someone, whether they're having a bad day or just things aren't going well, this is the time to just like be excellent to each other. To steal something from Bill and Ted, just be nice and try your best to get through, because we're all in it together, and without everybody jumping in and helping, we're never going to be able to beat this disease that's coming through.
Yes.
So just be cool, be excellent to each other, and like Andy said, just try to be positive.
Yeah, and
Don't be a troll on the internet.
yeah,
man.
I think the one rule on our Twitch channel is, and I take this rule to heart, is don't be an asshole. So
Don't be an asshole.
don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
So that's it for, I don't even know what number Pixel Pub podcast. Episode 8. I'm staring right. Episode 8.
8?
I
Yep.
said it was the next generation. That's not true. It's the social distancing edition. Me and Kathy are about to go eat some food. I hope y'all have a fucking amazing night, day, whatever you're listening to this. I hope Shelby and Josh have an amazing night because they're on the other end of the goddamn state. And I'm going to shut this recording right now. So say goodbye, Kathy Brown.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Shelby.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye,
Internet.
Josh.
Goodbye.
That's it. Peace out.